wonderful kid, good kid. He never did anything wrong. He loved everybody. He loved life.
TJ's friends and loved ones walked around the burned-out trailer, trying to understand how and why this happened.
Why did 4 kids stay in that fire and just die?
State and local investigators want to know, too. It's just hard for TJ's parents to wait for answers, especially when they keep hearing different stories about the tragedy.
This is what they've told us. The kerosene heater exploded. Okay, does a kerosene heater explode? It's not combusted. It's not propane. Kerosene heater don't explode. It ignites.
The Jackson County Sheriff confirms that 18-year-old Joseph Parker, 16-year-old Elizabeth Maddox, and TJ all died of smoke inhalation. But at this time, he really can't say more than that. TJ's mom can. She has plenty to say about her blue-eyed baby boy.
We just want him to know that we know he went to heaven. We know he's with my mom, and my mom's taking care of him. And we just know I love him. We all love him.
And Sheriff Mahaney just told me that the other teenager is 16-year-old Lacey Greer. Her family now has been notified. As for releasing any other information, he says he'll be glad to tell the families everything once he's sure he knows exactly what happened. He believes they're suffering enough and does not want to give them misinformation. Scott?
Understandable there. Sabril, we heard what the family said about how they were told the fire started. Do we know anything officially?
Officially, no. There are a bunch of rumors out there, but they're doing a thorough investigation. Different agencies are trying to find out exactly what happened. And as soon as they know, the sheriff promises he'll let us know. More on this story certainly in the coming days. Thank you. Well, in other news tonight, yesterday their North Nashville church was ravaged by fire. Today, the
fire marshals and TBI agents spent the day picking through the wreckage, trying to reconstruct the scene and figure out how the fire started. It's not clear why the 2 boys and 2 girls were at the trailer. They're believed to be high school students. The mobile home has been vacant since the owners moved into a retirement home. Quick action by firefighters prevented a duplex fire from spreading tonight. It happened this evening on Campbell Road.
In that trailer, the trailer's owners live in a retirement home. They say the trailer had been vacant.
An East Nashville man is
day at a Tennessee high school after a deadly fire over the weekend. Students in Jackson County are mourning the loss of 4 teenagers who died over the weekend in a bizarre trailer fire. News Channel 5's Ben Hall is outside Jackson County High School. Ben, what happened at the school today?
Well, today, Vicki, there were counselors here to help the students deal with the grieving process. All of the students did attend this high school at one point. And so today, the students put together this newspaper. They put together a special newspaper with pictures of all of the students here, and with their poems on the inside of this paper. Now, the students who died were T.J. Comint, Lacey Greer, Elizabeth Maddox, and Joseph Parker. They died Saturday after a trailer they were in exploded. Investigators do not know what caused the explosion. They also want to know why the 4 teens were in the abandoned trailer in the first place and why they were unable to get out. School officials say only one of the students was actually enrolled here at the high school, but all had attended at one point, and they did not have discipline problems.
I think it's scary for students even if they didn't know these 4 students very well. And most of them did know the students because this is a small town. And because we don't have all the details yet and everything, and things are still happening, it's just difficult.
Now, at this point, investigators are not releasing a lot of information, not even to family members. We did talk to one of the family members of one of the students that was killed over the weekend, and we'll have that for you coming up at 5 and 6 o'clock.
All right. Thanks very much, Ben. It's a sad story. All the tax talk was on hold today while state lawmakers
tell us why our son died, why the other children died.
To all those students out there who are still hurting, I just want to say that the pain will lessen.
At Jackson County High School, students printed a special edition of the newspaper with the 4 teens' pictures on the outside and poems on the inside.
When the students came in this morning, of course, there were a lot of tears.
Lacey was the only student currently enrolled at the high school, but all had attended. School officials say none of them had a disciplinary problem.
I'm not blaming anybody or any of the kids or anything. I just want to know the truth about what happened.
The TBI is in on this investigation, but right now there are just a lot of questions. Now, people here in town have set up a special fund for the victims' families. If you would like to contribute, you can go to the Citizens Bank in Gainsborough and donate to the Youth Fire Victims Fund. You could also call that bank if you're from out of town. But right now, people here just have a lot of questions about how this could have happened.
Ben, I haven't understood from the previous stories who owned this home, this trailer home, why the kids were there.
Well, this was apparently a place where the kids would go to hang out. The owner had recently gone into a nursing home, so people knew that it was a trailer that was in fairly good repair, but that there was no one living there at the time. The owner was in a nursing home, and this is apparently where kids would go just to hang out.
All right. Thanks very much, Ben Hall, reporting on a very sad story. Steve?
Settling for grieving family members.
We're just going to have to be patient, and let the investigators do their job, and hopefully we'll get the answer soon.
And some of those answers might come from a fifth teenager who was at that fire Saturday morning. He got out alive. There were guidance counselors at Jackson County High School today for the students who needed them. Meanwhile, the investigation continues, headed by the State Fire Marshal's Office, the TBI, and the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. Back to you.
Thank you. Ernie Freeman in Gainsborough. A fund has been set up for the families of the teenagers killed in that Jackson County fire.
It was early Saturday morning in Jackson County near Gainsborough. 4 teenagers were killed in an explosive fire at a trailer home. Autopsies show they died of smoke inhalation and burns. A 5th teenager escaped uninjured. A fund has now been set up to help the families. You can call the Citizens Bank in Gainsborough to make a donation. That number is 931-268-2141. We want to keep you up to date now on a missing Williamson County Sheriff's Deputy.
Teens couldn't get out. News Channel 5's Ben Hall is at Jackson County High School. Ben, this had to be a horrible day for the students there.
It really was. This was just a terribly sad day. Now, almost everyone here at the school knew these students, so there were extra counselors on hand to help them deal with the grief. Now, today, the students put together a special newspaper to pay tribute to the 4 who died. The 4 were T.J. Comint, Lacey Greer, Elizabeth Maddox, and Joseph Parker. They died early Saturday after the trailer they were in exploded. Investigators don't know what caused the explosion. They also want to know why the 4 teens were in the abandoned trailer and why they were not able to get out. School officials say only one of the students was actually enrolled in the school right now, but all had attended, and none had disciplinary problems.
I think it's scary for students even if they didn't know these 4 students very well. And most of them did know the students because this is a small town. And because we don't have all the details yet and everything, and things are still happening, it's just difficult. It's been a hard day.
There are still a lot of questions in this case. The TBI is investigating, but at this point, there are just more questions than answers, and everyone in this town is hoping to find out exactly what happened.
How long before the inspectors will know something about it, Ben?
Well, that's a good question, too. We talked to the sheriff a few times today, and they're really not releasing a lot of information at this point because they want to know exactly what they're talking about before they release that kind of information. So at this point, people are just really asking questions and mourning for those who died.
All right. Thanks very much, Ben. Chris?
Consider the investigation, but they say it's really impossible at this point to say when the investigation will conclude. You're right, the town is grieving here. Let's take you to the scene of this tragedy. It was Saturday morning, an explosion and a fire with 4 teens inside a trailer. They all perished. They are 18-year-old Joseph Parker, 16-year-olds Lacey Green, Elizabeth Maddox, and T.J. Comint. Now, grief counseling was provided at Jackson County High School today, where these young people had attended or were attending, students who knew the victim taking advantage of the counseling. Meanwhile, at the funeral home where we're live at tonight, the father of one of the victims was asking for answers from investigators.
They contacted me this morning and said that there would be further investigation, and they didn't have nothing right now to tell us, the family members. And I know it's hard on all of the family members right now. But
now, Gainesboro is a small town here in Jackson County. Everybody pretty much knows everybody, Dan. Everybody's talking about this case, and everybody has a whole lot of unanswered questions tonight. And here at the Anderson Funeral Home, we've seen two families of two of the victims whose arrangements are being made here, coming in, making those final arrangements, and just grieving, unbelievable what happened over the weekend, and they are trying to deal with this and get through this.
Such a sad story. Ernie Freeman tonight, thank you. A fund has been set up for the families of the 4 teenagers killed in that fire. If you'd like to contribute, send your donation to the Youth Victims Fire Fund.
Fire over the weekend. It happened early Saturday morning in the town of Gainesboro in Jackson County. Students at Jackson County High School met with counselors today and printed a special pamphlet in honor of those who died. T.J. Comant, Lacey Greer, Elizabeth Maddox, and Joseph Parker all died when the trailer they were in caught on fire. Investigators don't know what caused the fire or why the teens didn't make it out.
It's scary for students even if they didn't know these 4 students very well. And most of them did know the students because this is a small town. And because we don't have all the details yet and everything, and things are still happening, it's just difficult.
The TBI is helping with the investigation. We'll let you know what they find.
Lost their lives in a trailer fire. Investigators are trying to figure out what happened. The fire occurred early Saturday morning in Jackson County near Gainesboro. News 2's Jake Horf has more.
Lacey Greer was only 16 years old when she died in Saturday's fire. Joseph Parker, 18. Elizabeth Maddox and T.J. Comant, also 16 years old.
I miss him. I want him back. I definitely want him back. I don't want him to be gone.
T.J.'s parents, Blanny and Marianne Costal, are like so many other grieving families.
He was just my buddy. He was my best friend.
They're full of emotions but devoid of facts when it comes to the tragic loss of their child. Investigators are saying next to nothing about a fire that killed the teenagers inside this Jackson County trailer. TJ's parents suspect the teenagers were probably partying that night. They're told by authorities that the teens were asleep when overcome by smoke.
They never tried to escape. They
said they just slept.
That's why we want to know why did 4 young, healthy kids
not wake up.
In time, science will answer most of their questions. Why so many had to go so soon may be much harder to answer.
I know he's in heaven. He's up in heaven with my mother. My mother died a few years ago. We're going to bury them together.
TJ's parents find comfort in the words of classmates and faculty whose messages of support and poems were printed Monday in the school newspaper. One passage reads, "The schoolyard is quiet as tears flow, and we sigh for our friends taken from us before we could say goodbye." If time reveals anything to us, it's that we are linked to each other. And in the case of this mother, an age that marked a beginning and an end.
He died at the same age that I gave birth to him at, because I was 16 when I had him.
According to authorities, the teenagers died of smoke inhalation and burns, and they were alive when the fire broke out. At this point, the cause of the fire remains under investigation. Bob.
Thanks, Jay. A teenage woman...
Kerosene heater believed to be in use at the time of the fire, but they say the official cause of the fire has not yet been determined. Time is ticking away, and that has...